in the United States, most people get to know your music by studying in the colleges and universities. They start with the etudes. Your Estudios Sencillos?
Yeah, of course. My etudes are just composed for that reason, that the beginners are not involved with really easy music. Mm-hmm. The simple etudes of 19th century, Carcassi, Napoleon Coste, Fernando Sol, they are not easy at all. Mm-hmm. They are not. Maybe Fernando Sol, which was a very bright one, maybe 2 or 3 of this 20 or 30 or 40, but 2 or 3 is not enough for a student. A 5-year-old boy cannot go through only with 2 etudes by Fernando Sol. There's no more than this. So I recreate, since I was, maybe 20 years old, maybe, I don't remember. Since I was very, very young, I started thinking about it. I wrote my Simple Etudes series, and that's the reason for it.
Well, they learn about you through that, and also the Canción de Cuna, the Berceuse.
Oh yeah, the Berceuse.
But they don't know it as yours. They tend to say, "Oh, Afro-Cuban Lullaby by Christopher Parkening and Jack Marshall." The arrangement.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Christopher Parkening, I don't know why he stole it not from me. The original composer is Emilio Grenet. Mm-hmm. I did the version that Christopher Parkening stole. I don't know why. He thought he was a composer. Maybe he was drunk. Maybe he was drunk. Mm-hmm. Well, because sometimes whiskey is not so bad. But it's dangerous. I don't know.
It's Drume Negrita.
Yeah, this is Emilio Grenet, the Cuban composer from the 1930s.
Yes.
He did the original. A famous Cuban crooner, mm-hmm. like Bing Crosby in the United States or Frank Sinatra. Mm-hmm. In Cuba was Bola de Nieve, Snowball, mm-hmm. the black crooner. And he was put in really famous, the theme Drume Negrita. So please tell Mr. Parkening, if he is morally involved with it, that he's wrong. He never did anything about it.
I actually don't know Mr. Parkening.
Good for you.
And I wanted to mention another piece that they know you by as well.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say the number 6 etude, which me and everyone else has played, was used by Randy Rhoads.
What is it?
Of the preludes, los Estudios Sencillos.
The number 6 is an arpeggio.
It's the arpeggio one.
I wrote it in 1969. When was written by who is it?
No, Randy Rhoads he used it.
Used it
for Ozzy Osbourne. He's some kind of.
I know Ozzy.
I actually don't. I don't know who Ozzy Osbourne. I don't know his music.
Oh, but I use it. Okay.
But I know a lot. That's inspired a lot of people. People have told me.
Thank you.
No.
No, I say it's impossible that this musician.
Yeah.
On Ozzy Osbourne, less than that. No, they didn't. They cannot steal like Christopher Parkening. Parkening has no moral, but these guys are very, very serious guys.
Mm-hmm. And Un Día de Noviembre is another popular piece that those tend to be the ones that everyone gravitates to when they're students, and then they go on to learn the rest of the works of the master.
Well,
so what inspired that piece?
Well, Un Día de Noviembre is a film theme. It's music for film. It's the main theme of a long film from the 68 or something, Cuban film, with the Cuban industry of film, and the Cuban film industry, which is ICAI, Instituto Cubano de Arte, Art, e Industria, Art and Industry, film of art and industry, a Cuban film of art and industry. Ik. That's it. It was from the 68 or 68 or 69. It's a very long. I wrote it when I was very young. Not bad.
I'll have to check out the movie. I've never heard of the movie. That's interesting.
Of course. One day, Día de Noviembre. One day of November. Now, one November's day. Yeah.
Do you have any new compositions in the works for guitar?
Hundreds. Well, not hundreds, but dozens. But all are much more complex. Now, I'm a lucky composer. One of the greatest guitarists in the world, Ricardo Gallén.
Oh yeah, I love him.
Has a new record with my 6 sonatas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not 1 and 2 or 1.5, but which is something. It's a very complex music, but he is a real great guitarist. One of the greatest, in my opinion.
I agree. He's wonderful.
Absolutely.
He's got like technique like crazy, and then his interpretations are very original.
That's it. His musicality and his knowledge about history in style, because style has a history. Since after the Baroque, style became something very, very anxious for people. Reversed. People were anxious to catch style, which is the real truth. In the 19th century, many great composers were crazy for being the top in style of music, music composition. And it's still now, in the 21st century, it's very strong in the mind of composers. I want to be the number one. This is, I don't like it, I must say. I never want to be the number one. I hate it. I think this is a pretentious character of a composer. But anyway.
But as a performer, one thing that I really love about him is that he's inspired not by other guitarists. He doesn't spend his time because he listens to other music. And the problem with the guitar world is that many guitarists spend their time just listening to guitar players.
Yeah.
Instead of listening to Pablo Casals or Arthur Grimaud or Glenn Gould.
You are named a couple of geniuses. Yeah. Arthur Grimaud is one of the genius in violin.
Yes. His sonatas and
Pau
partitas.
Casals was the old one, but now you can go through until arriving not only to Yo-Yo Ma, but Lynn Harrell, for example, in the States, my godfather when I was in Juilliard was Leonard Rose.
Oh.
I was privileged. He heard me playing when I was playing. I was 19 to 21, 19 to 20, and then 21 later, when he heard me, and he became my godfather. Not the less, the real one, Leonard Rose, one of the greatest cello players in the world. I was lucky. So he introduced me into Hartford University. I was in Juilliard. I quit immediately. I follow him to Juilliard, to Hartford, Connecticut, Hartford University, and there I met wonderful people and so on. So I spent a couple of times. They named me a professor. I didn't, because the United States broke relation with Cuba, and then I came back to my home. Came back home. That's it. It's very simple.